والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وسيد المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. I hope you are all well, my dear brothers and sisters, inshallah. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He accepts the Umrah from each and every one of us and all of the pilgrims who are here, inshallah, this year. Say Ameen.
Ameen.
So unfortunately, as Akhtar has mentioned, you know, it's been an issue that we haven't been able to meet on a regular basis, and I think this is the first time for us really, and only by these few days having missed it do we realize how important it is actually for us as a group, the management and myself, because it's like a point where we connect with each other on a daily basis, where you have questions, you have issues, we also like to communicate information to yourselves, and also add to that, you know, different discussions that hopefully are of benefit. But inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will, you know, replace something better what we've missed, inshallah. So it would have been good, you know, to have heard from yourselves about your experience of Umrah, because I think that's very important, because sometimes some of you have questions or you have issues or concerns, and sometimes they're not addressed, you know, they linger and they stay throughout the Hajj. So does anyone have, because I think it's quite important that those things are you know, spoken about and addressed, and it's for the benefit of the group to hear all of that, inshallah. Naam.
Sim.
Naam?
Sim.
These are logistic issues. Actually, on that point, even I think, to be honest, maybe none of us just had the full instructions. There's actually nothing wrong with the SIM. When I actually read the message, as soon as you put the SIM in, it gives you a number 5450, I think it is. And when if you buy a voucher and you follow the pattern and you add that, it just adds your credit.
I'll give you my phone then.
So if anybody still has the SIM, wants to use it, it's very easy. As soon as you plug it in, you should have got the message. If not, then I can, you know, the actual code is 5450, I think.
Yeah, 545.
So you don't need it, that's your ID for all of us basically. So I think we were just lacking that information. It actually works, and I've got mine working as of, I think, yesterday morning. I didn't realize. But other than that, okay, the discussion is on sacrifice. That's very important. Firstly, this word qurbani, I think it was mentioned maybe by Sheikh Haibatan during the weekend, the pre-Hajj seminar, but let's go over it again. This word obviously takes its root from the qaf, the ra and the ba. Qurba means to draw near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And a person draws near to Allah from all acts of devotion, but it's specifically used in specific contents to do with when you're sacrificing. It's a method of drawing near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now our problem is that we also understand from it something very specific, which is the qurbani which people do on a yearly basis. Okay? They sacrifice for themselves and on behalf of their families. Okay, that's fine, but the sacrifice that is being asked of you as a pilgrim is something completely different. That is known as al-hadi. Al-hadi. The qurbani is udhiyah. Okay, they're different names and have different rulings as well. So for example, the qurbani which you are used to doing in your homes or back home every year, there's a difference of opinion amongst scholars. Is it obligatory? Many of us hold it to be something obligatory, and many scholars view that it's a highly recommended sunnah, for example. Whereas this sacrifice which you do as a mutamatti, someone who's doing umrah and hajj, okay, it's an obligation. Yeah? You must sacrifice per person, yeah? Per person. Whereas the qurbani which you do on a yearly basis, that can cover an entire family. Yeah? So the rulings are different. So it's key to just know, you know, to simplify all this, it's key to know that everybody here is doing tamattu, who is doing umrah and hajj, either together as a qiran or with separation as tamattu, then each person has to offer a sacrifice. Okay, so that's very important to be aware of that. If you wanted to do additional sacrifices of the second type, which you normally do, there's no problem at all. Key thing is if you're actually doing it not in your name, but in your name. For example, there's someone here who's alone, like myself, okay? So I'm going to do a sacrifice for myself because I'm doing tamattu, but also I'm going to do a sacrifice in the name of my wife, who's back home, to cover her and her children. And it's not, it's a separate sacrifice. I'm not doing it in my name and covering them, which is permissible to do. I'm actually doing it in her name. So when you do that, for her, she has some restrictions. She resembles the pilgrim back home, because it's being done in her name, in a few things. So for the first 10 days of the Hajj, she likewise is not allowed to take anything from her hair or clip her nails and so on, okay? Up until eighth day itself. Okay, so it's very important for you all to know that if you do this usually on a regular basis at home, whoever name it's in, it doesn't matter, we're not talking about those who are also covered, like your family, but the principal person, then you should, okay, abide by those same restrictions. Yeah, they're not total restrictions, it's just specifically on some of them. So we'll leave it at that. If there's any questions, inshallah, we can. No.